Welcome back from that short break, of course, in which we talked about Chelsea beating Man City through those 2 goals from Kante and Luiz. One in particular for Luiz. We were saying off air that it might not have been a corner. I believe it was a corner from one of the angles that I saw there. But of course, we kicked things off on Saturday with a brilliant Liverpool performance away at Bournemouth. 4-0. This was suddenly one of the Salah masterclasses we are used to.
Yeah, Tony, and I think we have to stop the talk of saying Salah is a one season wonder. He came up with a hat-trick, brilliant hat-trick, and he's back joint top now with 10 goals. So to me, I think he's the real deal again.
We've been talking about Salah.
Yep.
I've suddenly talked on this program and said that he hasn't yet picked up his best.
Yep.
He has been suddenly getting the goals, just like Liverpool. They haven't been as brilliant as last season going forward, but they've been racking up the points. They've been getting the goals. Salah now has 10 goals, certainly finally showing the Salah that we used to. If that Salah had been turning up since the day one, City would probably also have no chance against this Liverpool side. But it was a poor performance from Bournemouth and Eddie outside. Suddenly, across the pitch, everyone looked all over the place. They got own goals, there were fouls all over the place. They were not as good going forward as we are used to in this particular game. Liverpool came into the game with one eye on the midweek clash against Napoli, which is suddenly a must-win game for them. So it showed a bit in the team selection. We saw Sadio Mane did not start this particular game. We saw Firmino still pushing
at the wing,
being put up the wing, and Salah playing in that number 9. But in the midfield, we saw Fabinho. A lot of changes in this.
Who I thought
at right back.
Yeah, I thought Fabinho played well. Right back, they could not risk a Trent Arnold there, so Milner, utility player, played there. But going back to Bournemouth, Tony, to me, I thought the problems started right before kickoff of the game, when Wilson got the hamstring and he was a sideline for that game. That issue there of Wilson not being there affected their front line. We saw Josh King was made the target man, and then Stanislas had to come in to play the number 11. That pushed Fraser to number 10. I thought Fraser's not been a number 10 in a million years, Tony. And he was off the game. He could not play this game. And then I also thought Steve Cook was the worst player of the day. Having 3 mistakes, I thought he could have managed. A one-on-one with Salah, a defender should be able to shoulder. He was a bigger guy. He was pushed with ease, Tony, and I was so surprised. I think Eddie Howe has a lot to do in this side. He has to go back to the drawing board. He made a lot of points at the beginning, but he still has to look at this side and avoid such losses. This was so horrible for his side.
We certainly talked about this being a high-scoring game, but in a one in which we expected both sides to get goals. There was suddenly none from Bournemouth in this particular game. Liverpool forcing proceedings with 60% of the possession in that particular game. A sharp Robertson cross was turned into goal by Steve Cook there, who had a very torrid outing there. Very, very interesting. Now Liverpool getting themselves those 3 points, are taking themselves to the first place in the Premier League. 42 points. We've been talking about Liverpool trying and getting those last-minute goals. Try and keep the pace on.
And Tony, we've mentioned this. If the win against Everton could be the determinant of how far Liverpool will go.
It will take them.
And also, you've said that Liverpool are not just firing, and yet they are on top. If they start firing, Tony, they might be the leader.
There's a big problem. No, Liverpool certainly will definitely be in the mix come the end of the season. I believe this season is one of the seasons they must really look at. And if we have anyone that can upstage Pep in this season, it's probably going to have to be Liverpool with a big performance there. But Bournemouth was totally poor. It is
very poor.
But of course, after that, we had a lot of games coming up. We had Arsenal beating Huddersfield with a late winner there through Torreira. Their man there getting its second goal in 2 consecutive games for the first time in an Arsenal shirt. Poor performance, given that Arsenal had started with both strikers, Lacazette and Aubameyang. We had expected more goals.
Yeah, Tony, poor performance, and I thought these 2 guys have to be playing very well when they're together, but Lacazette had to be substituted at half-time. We've all mentioned that Emery is not shy of making this hard
big calls.
Big calls, and he did take one there. I thought I thought David Wagner, Tony of Huddersfield, had come with a good game plan. He played well, defended well, and having
He's
reached
an almost similar line.
like Arsenal, yep. And having gone the 80th minute, I thought maybe he can get a point here, but it was not meant to be. Torreira coming up with the goal, and we've all known Torreira. Yep, we've liked him, Tony, for being a hard worker in midfield, comparing him to Kante, but he has started now getting the goals. And to me, I think he's now a fan's favorite.
Kante is getting goals as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting there. Arsenal getting those 3 points to also try and keep themselves in the mix there. Arsenal now in 5th on 34 points, just behind Chelsea on goal difference in that particular log there. Very, very interesting. Arsenal in this game had over 5 yellow cards. So it shows you how torrid they were suffering, especially the 3 centre-backs all got themselves a yellow card. So Arsenal was struggling in that particular game, starting again with 3 centre-backs, 2 up front there. I expected more goals from Arsenal. Aubameyang is suddenly not showing up with a lot of goals like we had expected there. Arsenal both proceedings though with 63% possession, having the highest possession on the weekend there. But we had another big game. Fulham being whipped by Manchester United 4-1 in what was probably Mourinho's best performance of the season.
Yeah, I think the best of the season. When you mentioned 4-1, I would ask myself, well, who scored these goals? But I mean, I was happy to see Mata, Rashford, Ashley Young, and Lukaku, Tony, finally after 9 months scoring at Old Trafford. This Man U team, Tony, I think
this Man U team has the ingredients.
They do have, Tony. Everyone in the team looks good. I still believe Pogba should be part of this project, Tony. He's a talented midfielder, Tony.
What's happening to Pogba? He's supposed to be at the forefront of wins like this.
He should be.
He's not a player we expect to see on the bench when a team is running out as 4-1 winners. Maybe the coach had an eye on the midweek game.
Which is a dead rubber.
So maybe we'll see some Pogba in that particular game there. But Manchester United having a very, very brilliant outing there. Of course, Fulham were showing signs of coming back in the second half. Of course, they got that goal through the substitute Kamara, but the red card to Anguissa, which I think was slightly harsh.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I don't think he deserved the second yellow card for that. It wasn't even a foul, in my opinion. It's only because Rashford jumped to his back, and it looked suddenly a bit more tougher there. But yeah, Fulham now continuing their defensive woes. Big problems for Ranieri. A lot of goals have been conceded by this Fulham side. He has to find a way. I believe my best player on the day was Diogo Dalot.
Yeah, Tony. Diogo Dalot. I don't know how you didn't mention him. Very, very brilliant boy. And I look at Valencia and I'm like,
he had a tough time against Arsenal, but he showed his class on Saturday.
He's very good. I want to watch him again. I don't want to judge him in one game, Tony. But what he showed, Tony, it looks to be the deal for Man United.
No, there were some really fantastic crosses from the young boy. I certainly had a good time watching him there. Midweek, I had reservations because we haven't seen a lot of him after that 19 million signing from Porto. But he certainly showed me some of the signs there that we were looking for. And of course, we wrapped things up late in the night on Saturday with the big game, Leicester taking on Spurs at the King Power Stadium and losing that game 0-2.
Yeah, Tony. 2 goals coming in from Son and Dele Alli. We had mentioned prior to this game that Tottenham will be having one big eye at the midweek game against Barcelona, Tony, which I thought, yes, benching Harry Kane and Eriksen, those are your 2 firepowers in Tottenham that you need to be available if you're to bring down Barcelona. And I thought the replacements that were available did the perfect job. Lucas Moura was amazing. Son, of course, coming up with a brilliant goal. We've talked about his left foot being as good as his right.
He keeps surprising me, this guy. I believe he's the best South Korean player I've watched all my life. I think he's certainly getting to that kind of league right now with a big performance in the number 9 position. It's not easy to deputize for Harry Kane.
No, it's not.
We all know in this particular Tottenham side. Very interesting there. They got those points and they leap up above Chelsea. Now in 3rd place. It's their best ever start to a season. It's Liverpool's best start to the season. What's going on this season?
I mean, it's Man City. We all have to give credit to Man City. They set the bar very high last season, and all teams have known that.
Even this season.
Yeah, even this season, and teams know that if you're to match up to City, you have to deliver, Tony. And credit this Tottenham side. No signings over the season.
No stadium.
No stadium, but they are Tony delivering. 5 points behind the top spot. I think that's amazing.
Very, very brilliant performance there. Of course, Spurs in third on 36 points. Leicester now in 9th. They had started the season well. That setback, of course, with their chairman passing, it's proving to be a big mental block for them. They're now in 9th on 22 points, just 1 point behind that Bournemouth side that have 23 points. Big performances across the league. Who was your player of the weekend?
Salah, Mohamed Salah, Tony.
Easily, Mohamed Salah took that there. Of course, brilliant. We brought you all the rest of the results on our Facebook pages, and we'd like to thank you for interacting with us while the games happen. We'd like to thank you for all your feedback, all your predictions, all your comments. Keep liking the page, follow, watch the videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well in the links shared below this video. And we have nothing left to say. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.